Well, welcome to the fabulous show. And I'm so grateful to be your host this week, especially because we're going to be talking about having an attitude of gratitude. And we've got an amazing panel of guests who are going to be sharing their thoughts and their inspirations to you. So, what do you think? Let's talk. Well, hello and welcome to this week's show, everyone. And I know that you all are as excited as I am about having this attitude of gratitude. And what does that really mean? So, first, I'd like to go around and ask each of you to say your name and where you're beaming in from. And Erin, let's start with you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Cartwright, and I am tuning in live from San Diego, California.
Wonderful. Thank you, Erin. Renee, how about you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Renee Reisch, and I am coming in from Orange County, California.
Great, great. Well, we've got a couple of themes here on the Pacific Coast. Dr. Marlena.
Hi, I am Dr. Marlena. I am in Northridge, California. Happy to beam in today.
Great. We're happy you're here too. And Skip.
Hello, everybody. I'm Skip, or also sometimes known as Poe. That's what my kids call me. And I'm in the North Ozark Mountains in North Arkansas. So very remote, in a work in progress little building that's out in the middle of nowhere. So happy to beam into with all you wonderful people. So thanks, Julie.
It's wonderful to have you here too, Skip, and everyone here. So this is going to be quite, I'm really excited about this show and this whole notion of what it means to be grateful and to have that attitude of gratitude. So let's bring on our first guest, but first I'm going to introduce you like this.
Hi, my name is Renee Reisch, and having an attitude of gratitude is important to me because it allows me to see the things that are good in my life and appreciate them. And the more you focus on the things you're grateful for, the more things you find to be grateful for. So I continue to look for those positive things and see them, and I focus on those. There's a lot of things in this world that may not be good, but when you flip the switch and see what you're grateful for, you'll find much more.
Well, that was beautiful, Renee, and I'm not sure everyone could really hear it as loud as I'd like. So I'd like you to tell us a little more, because I know you're one of the most grateful and heartfelt people that I personally know.
Oh, Joy, thank you so much. It is about having an attitude of gratitude. And what I said in the video is that we all go through so many things, and a lot of things, as we know, are happening in this world right now. But when you focus on the things that are good in your life, the things that are positive, you tend to find more, because that's where your attention goes, where focus goes, energy flows, and we're all made up of energy. And so when you put your energy towards those things, you'll find a lot more things to be grateful for. So family, friends who are like family, those kinds of things, and keep the focus, the attention on that. And you just see more of it, and it kind of uplifts your whole mood, your whole way of being, and it flips the switch of the negativity to more positive. Not that there's nothing wrong going on outside, there is, but it's our inner world that creates the outer experience.
I love that. And it's true, where your attention goes, right? That's what expands. So maybe share just a little bit here, and then we're going to be flowing around between everyone. What in your own personal life, what stands out the most about how having an attitude of gratitude helped you to go through life storms or ups and downs?
Well, as some of you on this panel know, I lost my voice in 2013 and was told I may never be able to speak again. So having an attitude of gratitude, having a voice, being grateful to share the instrument that we all have, but it's how do we play that instrument? That's a choice that we each have. And being grateful for the voice and being grateful for the people in our life. And even if it's not a necessarily pleasant experience with some people or certain experiences that we have, there are lessons that we can learn from and glean insight into about ourselves or about something that's happening around us and why, how we're looking at it. Our perception changes our perspective.
It sure does. It sure does. And I'm just going to bring you back here. Thank you, Renee. And we're going to get back into the flow again. I'm using that word flow because that's what's coming to me today, is that this is going to be a flow of our hearts and our ideas and also our inspirations. Thank you, Renee. And now let's have somebody else come on and share something here.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marlena. I'm a mindset development expert, and I believe that an attitude of gratitude ignites your joy, opening your heart and your mind to God's grace, allowing you to lift others, helping you and allowing you and guiding you to walk in your purpose and live your passion.
Absolutely, Dr. Marlena. And you certainly have had your share of a lot of different things. And so, I mean, we could have full shows on each one of you because you all have such inspirational stories. But tell us a little bit what comes to your heart right now during the show.
Thank you so much, Joy. I think about the life-changing path to transformation when you have that life-changing gratitude moment that you get that second chance. Renee says she lost her voice. I lost my life almost because I coded twice on the operating table and spent 80 days in a coma. And when I woke up from that, that gratitude that I had just ignited my joy. And I believe that now everything that I do, it takes me from having that scarcity mindset to an abundance. And how does that abundance make me aware of the blessings around me and how I can be a blessing to others? So like just life-changing gratitude, I believe is our path to transformation. And if we just sit in that and give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, His love will endure forever.
That is so beautiful. Yes, I mean, I can't imagine. I know your story personally, of course.
Yeah.
To be in a coma 80 days and, similar to Renee having her experience of having lost something vital, and for you to wake up and go, I'm still alive. And, it must feel like, I like to think it reminds me of Scrooge on Christmas morning, right? Or even like in It's a Wonderful Life, like, Jimmy Stewart, realizing that he didn't lose everything. He's not in the alternate reality, but he was able to reclaim back what he thought he had lost or they thought they had lost. So share a little bit about that from your perspective, Marlena.
Sure. It creates the gratitude of knowing that there's greater purpose than just what we tend to focus on. It creates and nurtures humility. And then once we less of us, and I believe more of God, then we're become more self-aware about our roles and how we reflect on others and how others are watching us. And so just acknowledging that less of me means more of Him, And I'm grateful for the opportunity to lift others. And everything now in my world is like, how do I do that? The how to, and just the reflection of the people I've met along the way, the illuminator, you, Joy, and my sister Renee, along the journey, and how you've poured into me from your experiences. And now I get to take that back into the world and pour into someone else's cup. It really humbles you and creates a different perspective about our roles in life.
I love that. Well, one moment. That's absolutely beautiful and fabulous, of course. And we're going to come back in here. And again, as everyone can see in our beautiful audience, and thank you for joining us live and on the replay. We have some remarkable people here with deep wells of inspiration and love and beautiful faith also. So, all right, let's get used to someone else here and hear her story.
Hi, I'm Erin Cartwright. An attitude of gratitude is so important to me because I feel happier. And when I can find something each day, even if it wasn't the greatest day, then it helps my attitude. It helps my overall well-being, how I am with my family. For me, if the sun is out, I will always be grateful for that. If I can get to work early and have less traffic, I am so grateful for that. And on the days where it's not so great, I am grateful that I got to listen to some great music. I'm grateful that I have a job. I'm grateful for the full-time opportunity that landed in my lap. So really, what I am working on doing consistently is seeing life as happening for me, not to me. And when I shift my perspective like that, it makes a big difference. And we can take all the little blessings that may not seem like blessings and turn them into something wonderful. And then we share it. And then we can share it with everyone we come in contact with and hopefully brighten their day. And then creating this practice of gratitude, even if you're just writing it down in a journal or putting it in an app, you can look back over the things that have happened, things that you've come through, and really it's a lot of positivity that builds, and you can take that forward and bless others.
Wow, that is beautiful. Erin, I'm going to move you into the spotlight now. And yeah, you're absolutely, Tamara's saying here, love your attitude of gratitude, Erin. You're like pure sunshine, to me, and I know to a lot of people. And you've been through many things too. I mean, every single person here walking on the planet has. But tell us your secret sauce, your special recipe for having that beautiful ray of light that you bring and that attitude of gratitude, and how it's changed your life going forward these years.
Thank you, Joy. And I appreciate that so much. It's funny because I do think of myself as a positive person, and I get that a lot from people. And yet I have my moments in my days, and we all do. Life happens. Life is happening every day to us, the good and the bad. And it's the perspective. And so in the last few years, I've been doing some transformational work, and I've always been a journaler, and had gratitude lists. And I really do try and focus on that. But what really grounds me and helps me put things in perspective, especially lately, I take evening walks every night for about an hour. I try to get sunset, and also prayer. God has blessed me a lot through the years, and it's easy to forget sometimes where, to put our focus and our belief. And my mom has been a huge inspiration to me. with her prayer life and her faith in God. And truly, the things I've been through, you know, I've been through a divorce. I've had some things that I would consider not a major crisis, that has still been big for me. And I have had the peace and the blessings of just being able to focus on the positive and truly feeling grateful, even at times when it's been hard to find the blessings.
I love that. I love that. Even when it's hard to find the blessings,
Yeah.
you know, and I love too, Erin, that you talked about, you know, just even going out for a walk in the sunset, you know, changing your mindset, right? And your heart set and, you know, praying or meditating. And so tell us just a tiny bit more about that. That's a secret sauce in and of itself, isn't it?
It really is. You know, the app that I've been using lately is the Bible app, and they have a verse of the day. They have some thoughts, something to read, and then they have a guided prayer meditation. And that's actually what I do during my walks every night. And it kind of prompts you, like, what are you grateful for? You know, what are you praising God for today? What are you asking God for today? And so each screen really takes you through that, and I feel like I just feel complete after that, and just calmed. And like I'm starting to do it in the morning actually as well, even though getting up is not my thing early. So evenings have been my special time with God.
Well, I love that. That's a great tip and hint for people that just to even find an app, and Erin suggested a Bible app or whatever works for you too, to get those prompts while you're walking, or even while you're sitting with a cup of tea, right? You know,
Yeah.
Wherever you can. I mean, just being able to take that moment to have an attitude of gratitude, or just to say thank you. I forget about that myself. I really do. And when I remember to, I go, gosh, that really made me feel differently. You know, it can be that simple. That's the fun part of it. Yes, write that down. Write that down. Oh gosh. Well, we've got somebody else we're going to introduce you to. And when I saw this video that our wonderful friend shared, you know, I don't know. I want to hear what you guys think about it after you see it. All right. So here we go.
What if Thanksgiving was more than just a day, but rather a way of life all year long?
If it's a family of 4 or more, 2 lottery bags.
Well, this is our food distribution for Thanksgiving. We've gotten turkeys, along with their regular food for the month.
You know what you can do? You can take everything that they're bagging and put it on a pallet right here.
Well, for over 8 years, in Fox, Arkansas, a town with a population of roughly 250 people, collect donations of food, and volunteers show up every month to help feed those in need throughout an entire county. How does this feel? Is there a sense of...
I thank God for you coming here.
Make people have a Thanksgiving without, having to worry about it, not having no food.
It's just that spirit of
giving. They're very giving. These people know they can come here and they can be loved on and they can be given food. We know they're in need.
Where do you find order in this chaotic world?
Have a happy Thanksgiving!
You can find it in a place that's deep within the hearts of humanity. We found it here. Thanks and giving. A beautiful way of life.
All right, I'm going to move our wonderful Skip Poe here into the spotlight. Hi, Skip. Thank you so much for being here with us today and taking your Sunday to come and share. And I don't know, when I saw that, I have tears. I got my Kleenex. It warms my heart. And when I was watching it now here, Poe, I was going, that's only 200 people in your little town of Fox, Arkansas, and everyone's coming together. Yeah. 200 people. It's not like 2,000 or 200,000. Yeah. Everyone came together. And so tell us more about all of that first, because we're right here on the eve of Thanksgiving, and how inspirational. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Joy, and thank you, and thanks for all the people that I stumbled across and met here on this journey. In Fox, Arkansas, this Stone County, which is pretty big, and it's got people all over. It's probably one of the poorest counties in the state, actually, and yet for plus 8 years, a handful of people, they were just here visiting to see my studio, and they wanted to see the video for the first time. That was just shown. And they do so many other things out of giving. And, what I recognized is that they were doing, so many people came together and gave so much and helped so much and got reward out of the giving part of it. And then when I walked down, I've done thousands as a filmmaker, interviews with different types of people and so forth. And some people are reluctant to talk to you. And these people may be, down and out or a little bit, challenged, some handicapped or whatever. But there was not one car that I approached that wasn't excited to talk to me and tell me how wonderful this is. I thought, my gosh, if we could bottle this and spread it not only throughout the state, but throughout the country and the world of that spirit of giving, but the thanks. And that's where, it was, they were so thankful. But I said, well, I asked the person in charge that was talking, and I said, well, what do they do in response? Do they let you know? They said, Skip, you wouldn't believe how many people, when they have so little to give, and some are picking up food for people who can't drive or get there. They're all registered, but they will send a prayer card of thanks. Yeah. They'll send a quarter. They'll send something their kids made out of thank you. And every month, and it's the food for a whole month. And and so that was something I just had to film and had to share it as a part of the story, because we're entering a period where, it's family and friends and all that's wonderful. But what is it that, we were talking, I was hearing such wonderful stories about, flipping the switch of I had cancer, in 2010, and prognosis wasn't good, but yet I did a film, Sacred Journey of the Heart, and in there they asked me, well, weren't you devastated? Yeah, I mean, I'm a filmmaker. I always film other people having cancer, doing stuff, but I had a bad situation, multiple surgeries and treatment, and what they asked me, and actually it was in the film, it's like, how did you respond to that? And I said, it was one of the greatest blessings I've ever had.
So true. Yeah.
And because it changed my perception, it changed how, we heard the word perception, we heard the word perspective, from Erin, and, and then being able to focus, like you said, what you focus on, energy grows, or what's likened to itself attracts. Well, that spirit of giving that you saw in that video was just, there were kids and older people and people that really couldn't do much physically, but they showed up and said, what can I do? And we're in a period where that spirit that is contagious is something that I think you all are sharing in your own personal stories, which are amazing. So I'm grateful to have come across that just a couple days ago and put it together to share it with you guys.
Oh, absolutely amazing. So wait a minute.
You're welcome, Maestro.
So Yes, Skip. I mean, and also I just want to share with everyone here and in our audiences, Skip is one of the production team here. He created and helped to create the Legacy series here, and you've done so much, Skip, and we are ever so grateful. And guess what? It's your birthday coming up.
Yeah,
So
on
happy
the
almost
26th.
birthday. Yeah, you'll be 21st, right? Yeah.
Yeah, on the 26th of
26th.
November. I'll be 70. Big milestone.
Oh my gosh.
And again, it's, I think it was Dr. Marlena said, that self-awareness, and I appreciate the thanks, but this is not me doing these things. When I get myself into it, I screw it up. It's when I step out and just be a funnel to allow it to flow, which comes from above, and it flows to hopefully the heart and spirit of someone else. And I think Dr. Marlena said that self-awareness it's really in my journey in the near-death experiences we've had. Mm-hmm. It's self-awareness, but it's becoming aware of your true self, of who I am. And sometimes it takes a little bit to shake me up and go, okay, I get it. I'm okay. I'm listening. I hear it. And oftentimes when these magical things happen, it's not only am I grateful to allow it to flow, but that somehow we're all picked. Whoever you are on this planet, you're picked to fulfill a certain purpose. And sometimes it's not in here, sometimes it's here, but it's always connected to me up there. And so thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. And I'd like to have, again, this flow of heart together with all of you. You've all seen and felt a little bit of each other's journey. Just a teeny weeny little talk here and tip. But what you were saying there, Skip, about it's not you. It's not you personally, right? And I feel like when we get into that attitude of gratitude, we're opening up to something else. Who would like to run with this a little bit? Who wants to raise your hand? Who wants to go first? I had a feeling. Dr. Marlena.
Yes. When you said you're opening yourself up to something greater, I believe in rediscovering our destiny. And what I mean by that is we're born with everything we need, and we let life, work, children, divorce, marriage, whatever it is, distract us. And then once we're allowed to rediscover what we really are designed for, what's our divine assignments, if you will, it shifts our mindset. So those, we go from that gratitude being, less than or in our own strength to having that gratitude that fuels our endurance. And so now we get to shift our mindset. So all that stuff we've gone through, it's just that catalyst for that person that's going to pass us, come across our path, that's on edge, about to, jump, sometimes, literally. And they can take from the stories of our gone through, grow through, and they can now apply it to their lives and shift their mindsets and now see life more again in that, what's the lesson over the setbacks that I've had? Mm-hmm. And then once I understand what's the lesson over the setback, now how do I come up with steps to celebrate still being here, reinforce, the humility, and then again feeding. We do a pantry just to see the smiles of the faces of the people that come through for that in this time, when there's so much fear and so much unknown in our world, to just be that little bit of light that we take that comes, from God, and be that for someone else. It shifts everything, I believe. Having gone through, I'm grateful that I went through what I went through. In the moment, I may not have been understanding it fully, but he chose me, sort of like Esther. Esther 4:14 is one of my favorites. Queen, perhaps you were born for such a time as this.
Ooh.
And I believe that's how our lives are. When we start growing through, we have to go, Queen or King, perhaps you were born for such a time as this, because we knew that you could bear the challenges, so you could be the catalyst for others.
Absolutely. And I just have to do this quickly here, everyone. Right down, there's so many beautiful pearls of wisdom here. And thank you, Marlena. It's just so eloquently and beautifully expressed. And who wants to flow? Okay, Renee.
I will tag along on this one because it's all about finding your voice. And that's what my whole premise platform is. When doctors didn't know if I would ever speak again, and I was told I was no longer allowed with the public, that was the most, not just physically debilitating because I had sores on my vocal cords, but mentally, physically, and emotionally. So when something is taken from us, as Dr. Marlena said, it's really taken for us. And at the time, I certainly didn't realize that. I didn't know. I wasn't in a spiritual sense in my journey yet. I'm sure this was part of my own path to my spiritual journey. And it really was taken for me so I could be that vessel, that voice, not just for myself, my own, growing up so to speak, but for others, and to create areas and platforms for people to find their own voice in programs, because this is what it's about. I know that struggle, and I also know the strength that you can come from that pain into that purpose. So it takes time. We all want things to happen yesterday, and we want to go from A to Z. I know that because I did. It's like, let's just get through this. Can't we just have the end result? And you can, but that's not the divine purpose. You want to have the same appreciation or understanding or empathy or compassion for others had you not experienced that pain firsthand yourself.
Absolutely.
And now you can be that vessel.
Being that vessel. I love that. I love that. And all of you are expressing that notion of working on for something a little higher than our own personal selves, to get that attitude of gratitude and to be that blessing for others. Let's go over to you, Erin.
As I've been listening to everyone here share their stories and thinking about, the things that I've been through in life, and then the unexpected blessings, my husband, Kenny, and I are going through a period of kind of rebuilding after some financial struggles in the last year, and really taking the blessings, taking the lessons from what has happened and seeing how it's actually helping us create something going forward. And the opportunities that have just fallen in our lap that are helping us rebuild, that wouldn't have been there had we not been through it. So really just trying to have an attitude of gratitude for the lessons. And I was just thinking of I've seen this posted on social media where it said, remember when you once prayed for what you have now? And that is something that is very true to me. And, I'm excited to see actually what that looks like a year from now, things that I'm praying for now, and where we will be in 2025. You just never know.
That is beautiful. And yes, planting the seeds of gratitude now to see what they will sprout, and even if they're a small seed, right? Even like Skip was saying, the people that were sending a prayer note to say thank you, or just, it's like, it reminds me of the widow's mite, right? Just that little tiny bit to give increases everything in our lives. And with that, I want to share something very special that our birthday young man created as part of our legacy. Yes, you, Mr. Skip. And such a blessing you are, Skip, to this world. You truly are. Absolutely. We salute you. And here's what he created for everyone to enjoy and to take in.
In the quiet moments, when the sun begins to rise, we find the strength within us. In the stories of our lives, not in gold or glory, but in hearts we've touched with grace, in the love we share with others, in each kind and gentle face. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. Through the trials and the triumphs, in the battles that we fight, it's the courage and the kindness that will always shine so bright. In the lessons that we teach and the dreams that we inspire, in the way we lift each other higher and higher. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. In the final song you sung, and the curtains drawing near, it's the moments filled with love that will echo year to year. In the footprints on the path that guide the lost and blind, your legacy will live on in the hearts you've left behind. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held, the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you've sparked in others, in the stories that are told. So let's live with open hearts and give with all our might, for the legacy we leave is a beacon in the night, in the echoes of our actions, in the whispers of the wind. Our legacy of love is where it all begins. Our legacy of love is where it all begins.
Legacy will live on in the hearts you've left behind.
Wow.
Wow, wow,
Beautiful.
wow.
It was very beautiful. Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Thank you all.
Wow.
Thanks. It was
Yeah,
an
beautiful.
honor. My pleasure. Thank you for enjoying, and thanks for sharing that. It's you know, when we talk about legacy, which a lot of this, the gratitude can become our legacy in so many ways. You know, we're discovering our destiny, as we heard earlier, and not just be subject to the fate of what happens to us. And I was at the whole legacy topic was at one point 20 years ago maybe I was very successful in a big corporation. I had my own company, and no matter how much success, which was immense at the time, I got this very empty, dark pain in my solar plexus where something wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
And country club, I mean, it was just on and stuff. And I thought, what's going on? And it was a very dark moment for me. I went to the woods and I sat there for 2 nights and I prayed. And I said, okay, give me an answer, because this isn't working, even though the stuff is all showing up, the pats on the back and the whatever. And for 2 nights and 3 days in the woods, I didn't get an answer, but I got a question. And the question was, because I had 2 small kids, is what is the legacy you want to leave? And I thought, well, it's not this, it's not that, it's not something even darker. It's like, okay, I don't know, but I want to take steps toward that destiny that you guys beautifully talked about, that of rediscovering ourselves and why we're here at this time. That 17th book of the Bible, Esther, boom, I mean, that's it. We're here for a reason. It's time to show up for that reason, boys and girls.
You are absolutely right. And Skip, we've got some purple hearts showing up. So we have to do something. When we see these purple hearts, we got to do something. The Purple Hearts Club, by the way, to those who may or may not know, it's for one of our beautiful dear friends who has passed on due to cancer. And we like to, and for any of our beloveds who have passed on, that we love to remember them in this way. And, you're talking about, Skip, your dark night of the soul. I'm just going to paraphrase that. And how courageous and was that for you to do? I'm just going to say, in my humble opinion, to be able to go, there's something not right here, and to honor that place in yourself, to even go out and do very similar to the Native American Vision Quest of going out into the woods, or anyone throughout the centuries going out and praying and saying, hey, God, Lord, universe, creator, what's up? And getting the answer or having that question. And I'm grateful to you for sharing that right now, for sharing that, especially as, I will say, a successful man in our society, to be able to follow your heart, and soul. Erin, I'm going to go to you. I just feel inspired to go to you. I'd like you to share some things on what you feel with that. And I'm going to move you over here. That's just how this all works here. All right.
Well, I do think that, just thinking about being here now and what our purpose is, what our legacy is, I think I'm always thinking about that. And I'm a new, I do not have children of my own. I was not blessed with that, but I am blessed with 2 beautiful stepdaughters. And, so thinking of leaving a legacy isn't something that was always, in the forefront of my mind, not having my own family. And just what that means today and in our world today. My husband and I talk about that a lot, like being alive now. It's an exciting time to be alive. There's a lot going on in our world. And, I truly believe that these last years specifically have brought me back closer to God. And that is what is going to get us through this time. And just being focused on what's important and really slowing down, and realizing what we want and how we can bless others. I spend a lot of time thinking about this and journaling, so I'm really enjoying this interaction and this opportunity today.
Well, thank you for your shares. I mean, they give every single one of you is giving our audience and ourselves, because we're listening to this too, right?
Yeah.
These inspirations of the heart. Thank you, Erin. And I'm going to bring up Renee here. And Renee, I want you to piggyback off of what everyone else is saying, or we'll use the word flow, right? This flow of inspiration and ideas, and especially with having that attitude of gratitude. That's a really big concept, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. And thank you, Joy. And to what Erin said, you don't think about leaving a legacy if you don't necessarily have children. I don't, as either. And what I heard when you said that, I'm like, it doesn't need to have children to leave a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Our voice, our life, our experience is our legacy. What you go through, you grow through. And what better way to do that than doing it together with a tribe, with a family that may not be your blood family, but your family, like I said earlier, who you meet along your own journey of finding your voice, of coming home to who you truly are. And that will define who you have always been, but you come home to yourself, your own voice. Because growing up, we have all the other voices coming at us and to us when we were young, between probably 6 and maybe 8 years old. And we start listening to their voice and we lock it in and we have that voice define us. But it was never who we truly are intrinsically, our soul. And so as you go through and grow through your own journey, you come to find your own voice, and that voice that was always from within.
That's so beautiful. So beautiful. My goodness sakes. I'm going to be wafting in this energy for the rest of, well, as long as I want, right? But I'd love for you, Dr. Marlena, to come in here, and this is just how I have to share people here, to offer your thoughts here too, again, in this flow of our hearts and ideas and inspirations.
Yes. A scripture comes to mind, 2 Corinthians 4:15-17. And it says, all this is for your benefit, so that grace that is reaching more and more people may cause thanksgiving to overflow to the glory of God. Therefore, we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and our momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. And what comes to mind for me with that is that how in the midst of life, the grace and gratitude, they work together for the glory. Many people don't have physical children, which allows the world and what you leave behind to be part of your legacy. Because if we think about only our children, I give an example. My grandmother never birthed a child. My mother became her daughter at 10 years old, but my mother was 10. And through that 3 days old, I was given to my grandmother as a gift from God. And so here we are now. My mom is in her 77 years old, and I get to be her daughter in this season. So when we start looking at legacy, all that legacy of love and gift and overflowing of abundance of was poured into me, I now get to pour into my mother, who is in a season where there has been some sunsetting in her life. I'll put it that way. So the legacy that we leave behind, it becomes so much bigger than what we can manifest or think about with our minds. It's really about our hearts. For God so loved the world that he gave his son. So now we get to give our life back to him, give our life back to others. And so everything everyone said is really about renewing our spirit through our challenges, is how I see it.
Oh my goodness. That
yeah.
is absolutely
Yeah.
glorious. Glorious. So many beautiful wisdoms there too, Dr. Marlena, especially that verse from Corinthians. Oh my goodness sakes. I mean, this is the time of Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Yes.
And so, you know, what would you like? I'm going to ask this question. We're going to go around because then we're going to be coming to the end of this beautiful conversation, which I really don't want to come to an end. However, we'll just invite everyone to take away these beautiful inspirations and love drops of wisdom for you going forward into these holiday or holy days season, and how you choose to observe it from the inspirations. And so I'm going to invite each of you to share, and I'll just start with somebody and then we'll go around. What would you like folks to think about or to ponder or to muse upon as we go into Thanksgiving? And maybe like a minute or so, and then we'll come back around. All right. And I'll move you around. If you see me move you back in to gallery, then we're going to move you into someone else's view. But I'm going to start first here with you, Skip. And I'm going to move you over here, and I'd like you to go first here right now.
Well, thank you. And thank you all. And I'd like to make a special thank you and the wonderful people in our audience. Barb was talking and going through some things, and on a heart-to-heart embrace is what we're really doing here, is the love and the gratitude and that healing vibrational energy that really is divine. And then also, we talked about legacy, and I saw earlier Eliza was on here and made a comment, and she's the one that started the pantry that was in the video of the giving. And when we talk about whether people have kids or who, the legacy of these people, I mean, the kids that are loading food and perhaps inspiring other kids and people to be involved, and the people that are receiving this, and perhaps they're taking it to 5 other people that are in need, that becomes a legacy. That becomes, it's like a wave that can spread across, this entire, area here, but also the whole world. And so I would just like to say thank you for having me on here. Thank you for sharing. And let's sometimes gratitude is hard to just jump to, but if you're flipping it from anger or despair or fear to flip it, maybe gratitude, love is pretty high up there. Just courage enough. It was courage to go, to the woods, like when I did, just to do something. I wasn't quite in the gratitude moment yet, but I got there. And it's like a step ladder, one step at a time. And the more you go, the more you attract more reasons to be grateful.
Oh, very, very sage advice, Skip. Thank you. Because like you said, not everybody is in that space or that heart place to feel that gratitude. Maybe something's gone on in their life recently, and they're having a hard time with that. So I'm going to move, let's see, I'm going to have Erin, I'm going to have you share a little bit about how somebody maybe could move into a more grateful position, or how would you talk to somebody like that? And again, just like a minute or so, because we are coming. Oh, we've only got like just a couple of, like half a minute here, and I'll move you back because I'm noticing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would just encourage you to take time to consciously be present as to what you're grateful for every day. If it's just jotting 5 things down at the end of the day before you go to bed, of what you're grateful for that day, to just focus on it, and what you focus on grows. And I saw something else recently that was talking about give what you're missing. If you're feeling lonely, go reach out to someone else. If you're feeling sad, go create happiness for someone else, and you will feel it yourself.
Absolutely perfect advice. Absolutely perfect, because it really does help increase. And what you're missing, give that, find that, because you'll find that in yourself. All right, Miss Renee, I'm going to have you come in next here. Just a final parting thoughts for everyone.
Yeah, real quick. Well, my first thing is to say my gratitude to you, to Tamara for the show, Carolyn Brown. You know, it just really been great to be here, and I'm grateful. So Gloria, Grace, all of you behind the scenes, Skip, behind and in front of the scenes. So it's just to be grateful, continue to find gratitude. Life is not where we can always see the rainbows and the unicorns because we see what's going on outside, but go within. As you know, Erin said, reach out to somebody. The holidays could be a great time for people, could also be a very sad and lonely time for other people. You never know what somebody else is going through. So just reach out, a phone call, a text, something to let them know you're thinking about them could be the thing that saves them from themselves and brings that gratitude back to, you know, back home to where they really are meant to be. So thank you for this opportunity to share my voice and all of our voices today.
Thank you, dear. That was beautiful. And then Dr. Marlena, let me bring you in. And we've just got like one little hot minute here left. So before we're getting ready to see our alohas.
Okay. I said simply trust that God's grace is sufficient, and express thanks to others for their roles they're playing in your life, whether they're big or small. Just, you know, show that outward way of uplifting them, you thanking them, and share your stories of endurance. Because if God can do it for you, He can do it for them. And if they can see that in your life, you're spreading the grace of Thanksgiving that was mentioned in the verse that I read. So just share your gratitude.
Oh, how beautiful. I mean, whew, beautiful. And yeah, just share the grace of Thanksgiving. And, you know, this is a time when, as all of we've acknowledged, that there's a lot of folks out there that are suffering, that are in need. Take some time this week. I invite you, we all invite you, right? Everyone here, to think about how you could spread some cheer, some joy, a little something to let somebody know that you're thinking of them, whether it's a stranger, a neighbor, somebody on social media. Maybe call up a relative, call them and say hi. You know, just want to check in. How are you? Because in our busy lives, sometimes we forget that there's a lot of people out there wishing for that human touch and that human connection. And that will give you all and us a beautiful attitude of gratitude. So
Joy, really quickly, I want to thank you. I thanked everybody else, you for hosting this time, this show, you for reaching out to each of us. So thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for coming on. And happy birthday, Skip! Woohoo!
Happy birthday!
And I hope that you tune in to next week's show, because it's always fabulous, and we love you. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Bye-bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I want to say thank you for joining us today and welcome you back next Sunday as we once again are joined by a panel of subject matter experts that will explore and focus in on our fabulous lives. Until next Sunday.